I'm not in the mood for filming with new makeup or for doing anything super planned or, you know, the kind of things that you should be doing as a creator. So I am gonna do something that I wanna do, which is that I shop my stash for some things that I really wanted to use. I even filmed a little segment like picking the things, and we're gonna do that soon. And I'm just gonna be chatting about life. I asked you if you had any questions for me. We're gonna talk about 2025, how I'm really doing right now, plans for the future, and a couple of questions that you asked me. So let me actually like go into like past Angie picking out the items. Okay, I'm gonna pick out some things from my collection. Here I have all my perfumes. I know sometimes I get questions of how I store my makeup, and I store them in these IKEA Bestow. And we are gonna pick some things. When it comes to foundations, I don't really know what I feel like. What do I want to wear? Oh, maybe I want to wear this actually. I love this foundation, and I haven't, like you can see, I've worn a lot of this one. This is the Makeup Forever HD Skin. I haven't worn it for a little bit. I think I have mine in 2 and 22. So let's do this one. And with concealers, I do have a couple that I really like. I might do an oldie but a goodie. I have a sneaking suspicion that they are gonna discontinue this one because I've seen it out of stock in so many places and only like a couple of colors left. But this is the Maybelline Super Stay Concealer. I love this one. It's one of my favorites, but I've had it for a bit, but I think I'm gonna use it up. And this one is very thin, so you don't end up using too much. I don't know what color I have. Oh, here. I have the color 15. I really like this one. If I can find it, I will link it down below. And when it comes to powders, I've recently been using, I have all my powders here, but the one that is missing here is the one that I've been using lately, and I really like it, and it's the Glam Light powder. And I'll show you that powder in a bit because that's the one I really want to use. So we'll use that powder. Ooh, and I was talking about this one the other day, so maybe we'll use this one today. It is the Morphe Hot Shot Sun Drops. I have mine in bronze bombshell, so we'll use this one. I actually really like this one, and I talked about this just the other day, so let's put this up here and we'll use that one. Ooh, don't fall, don't do that to me. There we go. And when it comes to like blushes and highlighters, as you can tell, I have so many. So do we want to do like a liquid blush too, maybe? I haven't used this. I mean, I love this one. I think I even like mentioned this one in my yearly favorites. Is the Lumi one by L'Oreal. Maybe we'll do this one. And if I maybe can put a little bit of highlighter on top. Should we do, because that one is a little peachy. Should we do the one from this one from Bare Minerals? It's called Joy. Let me see if I can open this with one hand. Almost. Oh, I'm failing so bad. Here we go. This is Joy. It is such a beautiful, like, almost like a peach, but it has such a nice sheen on it. I think this one will be so good together with that one. And this is where I have my lip products. What do we want to do? Do we want to do a matte lip? Do we want to do like a treatment? Or what are we feeling? I am going to be using my Cinch Beauty Galactic Visitor. And I'm going to be doing something blue and yellow. Do we want to do one of these maybe? The Dolly Parton lipsticks? Let me see if I can get the right shade. So this one is in Birthday Suit. I had to open it because you need 2 hands to open this one. Why am I so out of focus? I have no idea. But it is like a sheer neutral light brown. This is not in focus, but this is what we're using because I thought I'd use this one on camera. It's actually really, really nice. I have no idea how the quality of that was, but here we are. These are the kind of videos that people say they want to see, but watch this video absolutely tank, which is fun because me and my friend are going out doing something fun after this and I want to be cute. So I have the things that I picked out here in this little box in front of me. Let me not like drop it. These are the things that I picked, and some of the things that I didn't show you was the Glam Light powder, of course, and I also have, I'm trying this one out. This is the e.l.f. Power Grip Matte Primer. I've been using it a couple of times, and so far I literally cannot see it doing anything. So that's why I'm really like, I need to try it out a little bit more, and I'm gonna try it with this foundation that I know that I love, and we'll just see how I feel about it. And of course I'm using the Galactic Visitor by my own brand, Cinch Beauty. I am gonna do something yellow brown and I think like blue mint. I think that's what we're doing today. I just want to have fun. I just want to have fun, and I'm not thinking too much about it. Oh, I should wet my sponge, and then we can start talking, because I got one question, and I think we're going to start with that, which is, how are you? Let's talk about that first. I'm not going to talk about the makeup while I'm applying it. I'll leave all the info down in the description box. I just want to talk about like the questions and talk about life and all of that. And I thought it was really, I always think it's really interesting when people ask like, how are you? How's everything? In Sweden, we have this like saying almost that like when people ask you this, they don't really want to know. Please don't tell them the truth. All they want to hear is it's fine, or it's all right, or it's like things are chugging along. They do not want you to tell them if things are not okay. But I do think that when you ask me, you genuinely like ask me if things are okay. I think for me, I am right now I'm doing fine mentally. I really am. I have my best friend here. I'm spending a lot of time with my friends, with my husband. I don't want to say the first time, but one of the first times in my life, I'm actually like, I have friends, more than one friend around me that I can like talk to, that I can turn to, that I really like, that I genuinely feel like care about me. I can reach out to a plethora of people and be like, bitch, I'm having a bad day. And they will listen and they will care. That has not been the case for me in bigger parts of my life. And I think, honestly, I mean, that's why I started YouTube, because I was so lonely. And I, for one in my life, actually do not feel that lonely, which, I mean, again, that's like amazing. So I genuinely like, I am doing pretty okay. I'm having fun plans for this year, and 2024 was a great year for me. It really was. Everything has its ups and downs, but like when I look back at 2024, that was a good year. And I think sometimes we compare ourselves so much towards like our final goal, and sometimes our final goal is just absolutely unattainable. I feel so many people are like, I'm gonna build an empire, I'm gonna be financially like independent, I'm gonna retire at 50, and I'm like, can we be like we can't all do that. Like, can we just be a little bit like, I don't want to say relatable, but like realistic? I mean, those were never my goals. I just want to be happy. I want to be able to hang out with my friends. I want to be able to get good night's sleeps. And I just, I'm not trying to build an empire. I want to keep the lights on. And I want to be able to afford to travel. And I feel like in this industry where I'm in right now as a creator, it's almost like you're told that you're supposed to have this like hustle mentality where things are always supposed to be bigger and better and like super hyped and super viral. And it's like, I just have never really been that person. And I feel like I'm going through this almost existential crisis when it comes to like my livelihood. Like, what do I want to do? Because I've been doing social media I've been doing social media for a really long time, like easily 20 years, easily, like from the beginning stages of blogs. I was there. I was blogging about my everyday. I was a model. I used to blog about my modeling life. I have had blogs for as long as I can remember. Like, that's what I use. I used social media for forever. And then I got into makeup and I started my YouTube, and I did that in 2015. So I am celebrating 10 years on YouTube this year, which is a little mind-blowing. Like, when you think about it, you're like, wow, I can't believe I have been on this platform and been active, because I never like really took a long break. I've been active on this platform for a decade, which is like crazy, because I still remember starting YouTube, how I felt, and I can't believe that I was 31, because I'm turning 41. When you're seeing this video, I might already have turned 41. I'm actually not 100% sure. And it's crazy how much has changed with my priorities, with my life. And it makes me sad sometimes when I get comments saying that they don't like me now, they liked me more before. Because it's like, you liked me when I was miserable, when I was like not doing that well, when I was crying a lot and feeling sad and depressed, and when I was like not in a good space, where I was not my best version. And it makes me sad to be like, I mean, this is not science. Everybody knows nobody likes a confident woman. Women doesn't like a confident woman. Men doesn't like a confident woman. Thank God my man does, because he is truly a gem. Like truly a gem, because he is so proud of me and he has no problem with me being like a little business savvy, being confident, like working and not wanting to be like traditional like housewife. Like I never wanted that and he never wanted that for me, and I'm like so grateful that he's been so supportive. But I feel like right now I'm not sure, not where I fit in, but I'm almost like I don't know what I want this. I don't know what I want social media to be for me right now. Oh my god, I think I'm gonna do the perfume now because oh my gosh, I love this so much. And usually this is what I do with perfume. I just do one spritz and then I just press them lightly together and that's it. Sometimes I'll do one spritz here, but I'm gonna be honest, most of the time it's only on the wrists. I love perfume, but I do perfume for me and I smell it here. It's a comforting thing for me. You know how you have that comfort thing? For me, it's putting my wrist up and smelling my perfume. That's my little comfort blanket. So I never really go through perfumes and I don't use perfumes a lot. I'm not the kind of person that that's not me. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that. It's just not how I use fragrance. So for me, fragrance lasts forever. But with social media, this has been first of all, it was an outlet where I was able to meet people because again, I was lonely and all I wanted was to meet people, to hang out with people, and to be like belonging somewhere. And I will say, I've had a hard time. Oh my gosh, it's more pigment than I remember. I had a hard time in my life to feel like I belonged. And I feel like when I was playing World of Warcraft, that was the first time in my life when I was like, oh, I actually... like, I belong here. Like, I am good at this game. People want to play with me, not only because I'm a girl, but because I am good at this game. I had a community, I had friends. I met Lisa, that's here right now. I met her in World of Warcraft. Like, I truly felt like I belonged. And not only because, like, people liked me, but because I was good at it. And the beauty community was quite honestly the second time where I'm like, wow, I belong here. Like people like me. I'm meeting friends. I'm actually like pretty good at this. I mean, I've always thought that I was like okay with makeup, but when it came here, I'm like, wow, people actually like the way that I'm like fearless, or the way that I'm just not that concerned about looking good, because I don't think that makeup is about looking good. I'm not trying to impress someone. I'm just trying to have fun. And it's not about being like what's flat. It's okay if that's your thing too. If you want to do what's most flattering for you. But it's also okay to let go and to be like, listen, I am a 10 regardless. If I'm wearing makeup, if I'm not wearing makeup, if I'm having black eyeliner, clean makeup aesthetic, a rainbow cut crease, I'm still a 10. It's not better, it's not worse, it's just different. And I feel like, I need to put a little bit in my ears. I think that this looks, wow, I really like this bronzer. And I just feel like 2024 was, even though it was a great year for me, it was the first year when I started thinking, I don't know if I like have that spot here anymore. Because, and not that I'm feeling like, oh, nobody likes me, not like that, but the climate on social media has changed so much. And people are no longer like happy to learn. People are very rude, and they have so many unsolicited, how do you say it? Unsolicited? Again, English is not my first language. I'm doing my best. So many like comments about things that this channel is not about, that they think just because I'm online, they have the right to tell me. That hair doesn't look good on you. Ew, why would you do it like that? People have told me to change the way I speak, change the way I dress, change my husband. Literally someone told me to change my husband. And it's like, this is a makeup channel. You can tell me I don't like that eyeshadow on you. I'm okay with that. But to tell me that you don't like how I speak, that's just, I'm sorry, but that's just rude. For me, on social media, if you want to tell someone something that you wouldn't tell a random coworker at the water cooler at work while your coworkers are listening, if you would feel embarrassed to tell that random coworker what you're saying to me, then you shouldn't tell me either. Why do you feel so emboldened to say random things to strangers because you're like, well, they put themselves out there? This is a makeup channel. Like, what are you doing? Why are you judging me based on like so many different things? And I know at the end of the day, I know I'm a nice person. I am loyal, I am generous, I am a happy, easy, like happy-go-lucky person that's always up for a good time and that will always be there for my friends if they want me. I am not snobby. I am not rude. I don't talk shit about people. I don't lie. I am sometimes too honest, so I have to reel it in a little bit. But I don't. So when people tell me things like this, it's not that I believe them. I'm just shocked at the climate that we have online right now. And that's what I said in a current video where I was like, I haven't fallen in love with out of love with makeup because I still love makeup so much, more than I've ever loved makeup. I have so much fun with new products and new techniques, and I wear makeup more often now than I did in 2015. Because now I wear makeup, I would say 6 days out of the week. And in 20, I have a hair that was literally baked into my blush. Ew. I wore makeup 2 to 3 times a week, and I just filmed all my videos at the same time. And I didn't wear makeup to work, and I've never been more in love with makeup, but I've also never been less enamored with the internet, if that makes any sense at all. How beautiful is that? I just can't get over. So pretty. Let me see if I can do a little bit of powder and maybe... Oh my god, I was going to talk about some questions and all I talk about is like me. It's not that I've fallen out of love with makeup or doing videos. I love doing videos and I keep trying to learn like new editing techniques, and I keep like researching like, oh, what are people interested in right now? What kind of videos could I be doing for the future? But you know what I have fallen out of love with? The internet itself. The way that people talk to each other, the way that people demand things from people. And I feel like back in the day, people were like, oh my god, I'm so excited you did this video. I can't believe you did 2 different looks. I'm so happy you got time for this. And now it's like 2 looks, you should have done 7. And this job that I'm having right now, it is the easiest job I've ever had. It really is the easiest job I've ever had, but it is incredibly time consuming. But those are 2 different things. And I think sometimes when creators talk about being a creator is not easy, I think that they're mistaking the word easy with like just time consuming, taking a lot of time, taking a lot of effort in form of like the amount of time it takes to do it, depending on, of course, how thorough you are with your things. But I work 9 to 12 hour days every day, and usually 6 days a week. I try to take the weekends off, but I will be honest, I don't always succeed. And then when it's really stressful times, like when there's a lot of things going on, like around Black Friday and Christmas, I tend to work like 14, 15 hours a day. And it's like, it's the way that it is. But I still love doing what I do, but I feel less inspired by the internet because I heard someone say recently, I've heard this before, you are not responsible for what other people think about you, and I think that's totally true. But I also heard it's not your fault that people are gullible and believe lies about you. And that really hit me because I'm like, that's true. If people read a lie about me and they're not looking for a receipt, it's not my responsibility to help them. If they're gullible, if you want to believe those things without asking for receipts, that's not that much I can do about that. And I see that sometimes about me and about other creators and about brands in the comments where people are like, did you know, blah, blah, blah. And they're saying something that's like, it's so easy for me to Google and find out that that's not true. But instead of doing that, you continue to spread this lie by putting it in comment sections of other YouTubers. And it's like, wouldn't it have been easier to just Google it? I don't know. Maybe it's me. I'm like the person that Googles everything. So I think I love the beauty community. I love the people that I've met here. I've loved the friendships. I've loved the connections and the things that I've created. I love everything about this. And I still get super giddy when I see a good release or when I try something where I'm like, oh my God, this is going to be a favorite. I know it. But I don't think I want YouTube to be my full-time career. I mean, not now, but for the future. So I feel like this, for the first time, 2024 is the year where I'm like, I need to plan what I'm gonna do next. And I've always said that. This is not my forever home. This is not what I'm gonna be doing until I retire. I always knew that. But I wanna keep doing YouTube as a side hustle. But I need to figure out, because either I make Singe like even more successful than it is right now, so that could be my income. Or I quit YouTube and only do YouTube maybe once a week or maybe once every other week, and then just get a job outside of YouTube, which I also wouldn't be against. But this is the first time where I'm like, I don't know if I feel like this is the right climate for me. Also because of what people want to see on YouTube right now. I feel like the short attention span of TikTok, which is also like when you're seeing this, we know like if TikTok has been banned or not. And I'm like, what do you think? Do you think TikTok has gotten banned? I'm like, I was talking about this with my friend before, and we were both like, it literally is 50-50 whether or not it's going to go through. So I'm intrigued to see. But like how people's attention span and what they want to see from social media after like TikTok exploded in 2020 has changed so much what gets views on social media and what kind of things people want to see. They don't necessarily want something where they want. I've literally been told in my vlogs, I need to explain everything that's happening on screen because they're not watching the screen. I'm like, ma'am, this isn't a podcast, it's a vlog. If you want to watch a podcast, watch a podcast. Why do you click on a vlog and complain that it's too visual? It's a vlog. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, there are so many videos right now, and so many people that have gone from showing to telling. Because people don't have the time to watch. They want to be multitasking. They want to listen. They don't want to watch. They're like, don't show me, tell me. You know how it used to be, don't tell me, show me? It's the opposite. Don't show me, tell me. And you need to explain everything. You need to have so many things going on. B-roll, things that pop up, pictures, text, just to keep people watching your video. And it's turned into this like, it's also like the Mr. Beastification of YouTube. You can't no longer just be like, I bought this new foundation, I'm gonna try it out. I bought every foundation available to mankind. It can't just be the one thing. People want bigger, better. It can't be, oh, I spent $100 on new makeup. No, I spent $1,000 on new makeup. I spent $10,000 on makeup this year and I want to talk about why it sucks. Like, it's just become this like hyper extreme monster where like small things are no longer what gets the click. And then we get comments of people saying, oh, I miss old YouTube, where people were just sitting on the floor doing their makeup. I did that when I was traveling to Australia. You probably didn't see it because almost nobody did. It's one of my worst watched videos last year. And it's like, no, people really don't want to watch people just putting on makeup on the bedroom floor. They really don't. It's not what they want to see. So I feel at this point how I felt when I was like, oh, I really have a spot here. Like, I'm part of this community. People really like what I have to say. I feel like I'm at this point where I'm like, what I like to do isn't necessarily what is popular right now. So there's no point in me doing videos that A, I don't even watch myself, B, I don't really have any interest in researching, and C, I wouldn't feel proud putting out. So I think that I'm just gonna stay true to myself and be my genuine self and just be like, that's okay. What can I do instead? And I love doing Singe. I don't know when this video is going up. I am having a launch with Singe. My plan, if everything goes well, is to have the launch on the 31st of January. And I'm super excited. It's something that I've been working really hard on. We're not releasing another eyeshadow palette. It's too soon. It takes time to release eyeshadow palettes, okay? I am working on eyeshadow palette number 2, but that is not what's coming right now. But I am very excited about the things that we have. But also to keep Singe going, I do need to put even more time into that. And also, like, same there. If people are not liking what I'm doing with Singe, I mean, I'm not gonna do it. I did get a question. Actually, let me fix my brows and we can get in the question because someone was asking me, what is your plan for like when you're not in the US? I think that was the question. Let me find it, let me fix my brows and we can talk about it. Oh my gosh, I'm looking through your questions and a bunch of these I've already like touched on, which makes me feel very in tune with you, that you're like actually like we're thinking about the same, you know, great minds think alike. Because one of them was pressure on beauty YouTubers to stay young and traditionally beautiful forever. I think it is very, for me, makeup specifically, like I do Botox, for example, because I don't, also Botox has helped me with my headaches a lot. I used to get a lot of pressure headaches, but I also think with makeup, we're always, like I said before, talking so much about what's, I don't like this whole like what matches your undertones, what are your spring, warm spring, easy summer, contrast winter. I literally despise that because it all comes back to you need to wear not what makes you happy, but what people would think you are the prettiest in. And I hate that. I just wear whatever you think makes you happy. But I will say we are so into right now this whole like look like your absolute most beautiful self, and it comes to men as well. Men are not immune to this, like this whole look maxing thing that's been going on. It makes me sad because like makeup and fashion and all of that is supposed to be a form of expression, like showing your inside on the outside. And I don't think that our inside is all about, or shouldn't be all about, how do I make people think that I am the most conventionally attractive as possible. So yeah, it does make me a little bit sad that that's where the beauty community and the beauty industry have so heavy been leaning into the past couple of years. Okay. Oh, this is easy. Someone was asking me, is it AI art on your palette? I'm wondering what's your stance on AI art on makeup branding. I've talked about this several times on my channel, like several times I've talked about AI on makeup, but no, it's not AI art. I did actually post on my brand before this question came in. I posted the picture of the palette front, this one, and I tagged the photographer, not the photographer, I tagged the artist, the photographer. I tagged the artist that's actually been painting this, and it's not AI, it's like a digital artist. He's incredibly like talented, and I'm so happy to be working with him on future projects as well. He has been great to work with, and I'm so happy that he's working with me on Singe projects. So you can always check out Singe if you want to see more about that. Someone was asking what would happen if TikTok is going to be banned. We did talk a little bit about that, but and also the shift you think will happen with TikTok is gone. Honestly, I don't know. And I don't know if TikTok will be gone either, but it's gonna be interesting to see. But this one, update on your life and plans after the US. And this kind of like ties into like my whole, because again, like I said, I am not tired of makeup, and I'm not tired of filming videos and coming up with ideas and editing them. I think I'm just the overall climate that's going on YouTube right now, or going on in social media right now, that's making me feel, let me get a brush, making me feel less welcome now than it did when I started. And it might be me. Like, listen, it might be changes in me. Who knows? But I do feel like the climate has become more harsh. So my plans were moving from the US. If you didn't know, I am a Swede. I'm married to a Swede, and we are in Austin, Texas right now. And we've been here, I think this is our 4th year being in Austin, Texas, because my husband is doing his postdoc here. He has a PhD in experimental psychiatry, and he is a neuroscientist here in Austin right now. And we're only here for a limited amount of time. We never planned to move to the US for forever. He just needs to continue his academic path, or at least to keep the door open. If he wants to continue his academic path, he needs to do a postdoc, preferably out of the country. So it's not like we chose to go to Texas, but when we were talking about places to go, it's always limited because it has to be in a university that has the specific things that you want to work with. And also he was working with someone incredibly famous in Sweden, like incredibly famous, which opened a lot of doors for him for where he wanted to be in the world. But I said I would prefer if it's English speaking, because I'm bilingual. I speak 2 languages, but he speaks 5. So for him, it would be more options for him. But I said for our first country, I would like it to be English if possible. And I wouldn't mind if it's warmer than Sweden. And then when he got the offer for Texas, we were like, maybe not our first option, but it does fit the boxes for what I said. I'm going to be using the, what did I say? Birthday suit. This is from Dolly Parton's makeup brand. And it's like almost like a balmy, sheer but buildable, very thin formula. It is glowy but not glossy. I would say for me, the biggest down part of this one is that it smells like roses, but it doesn't taste like anything. Okay, let me do a little bit of the Joy highlighter, Rude, and then we can go in and do some eyeshadow. So when we are moving, more things are opening up for me as it like opportunities for what I can be doing. Because now that I'm in the US, what I used to work with in Sweden was with legislation that is EU legislation. So if we move back to the EU, which we most probably will, I do have the option to go back and work with that. I do have 8 years of experience within that field. I was good at what I did, and I could definitely see myself going back working with that in some capacity. I wouldn't mind that at all. It's not something I can do when I'm in the US though, because this is not the legislation that my expertise is in. I would have to go back to school, and that just makes no sense for a country that we're not planning to stay in for forever. So whatever I do, I will not be doing something like that while we're in the US. I also do have the opportunity. Let me show you what I'm gonna use. I am gonna use yellow, I'm gonna use brown, and I think I'm gonna play with some of these and do something. That is my plan, but I'm starting with Sol, and we are going to put that out here. I will link all the things down below. These brushes, of course, and this palette is from my own brand, Nomad Beauty. I might even use the mirror because there is a huge mirror in this palette. So I do have the opportunity when I get back to Europe to go back to university, and I have been toying with the idea, and I don't think I would go back to university to have a further degree in what I've already have my degree in. I have a science degree. My degree is in environmental science, and I did work at an environmental office when I was living in Sweden. And again, I wouldn't mind going back working with something like that. I more specifically worked with food regulation, which is why I know so much about dietary supplements, because those are considered food in the EU. So I don't know if I would like further my education in that field, but I wouldn't mind going back to school. And you know what? I've recently gotten back into books. I used to read so much when I was younger, like to the point I read like 4 or 5 books a week. It was crazy, quite honestly. And I'm not at that point right now, but I do read quite a lot. This month, of course, since my friend is here, I haven't been reading as much because we've been doing stuff like today. I'm only gonna work, I want to call it a half day. What is the time right now? It's 11 o'clock in the morning right now. So I am getting ready because we are going out to do something. So I am, we said we're gonna have lunch here and then we're gonna do something. Normally, I would have just stayed in to read, which is great too, but I'd rather spend time with my best friend now that she is here. And she's here up until the end of February because, again, she went through something in Sweden, and I have people asking me, why is your friend here? How long is she staying? She's staying until the end of February. She had a bit of a traumatic experience in Sweden, and I told her to you can take a leave of absence from work in Sweden and just come back to your normal work. And I said, just come stay with me. And I will pay for your food and your stay here. I paid for her ticket here, and just like take a break from the everyday life and just land on your feet here, because I mean I love her and I want to take care of her and I have the opportunity. So right now I'm reading less, but I used to read like so incredibly much. I don't even know, where were we talking about? Rachel's gonna be editing this and she's gonna be like, I think you lost it. I lost the thread. I don't even know what I was talking about. I was talking about like relaxation and stuff that I do for me, because I have really been back into books again, and it's been so lovely to read again. And I started posting some book content on my second channel, which has been so incredibly fun. And I feel like for a really long time, and when I'm saying a really long time, I mean for a really embarrassingly, that was hard to say, long time, I was the kind of person that only had one hobby at a time. And for a long time, that was World of Warcraft. And then it was YouTube was my main hobby. That's all I did. But now I feel like I'm more like diversified in my interests. I don't only do YouTube on my or makeup on my free time, because I still do makeup on my free time. Like I love makeup still so much. And I don't only do reading on my free time, and I don't only do computer games on my free time. I do a little bit of everything, and it's been so good, honestly, for my mental health to have several things to lean into that I enjoy doing and not being like obsessed with any one of them. But yeah, we were talking about reading. Oh my God, reading and going back to school. I honestly feel like I would love to go back and almost do something. I would love to go back and do something in marketing. I honestly think that that would be so much fun. But I also wouldn't mind going back and doing something in like creative writing or literature or anything like that, because when I get back to Europe, I do have access to free university, and I do feel like something like that would be pretty neat. Or I'm not even sure, if we don't move back to Sweden, I might have to pay tuition in Sweden, but tuition in Sweden is like, it's like $3,000 for a semester. So it's not like here. And if I'm living in Sweden and paying taxes in Sweden, of course the tuition is zero. So I'm thinking I might go back and just read a little bit like at university and get something like that done. I also have this dream that I would love to, again, what do I want to do when I grow up? I want to have like a little cafe. I wouldn't mind having like a little bar. I wouldn't mind having like a bed and breakfast. Parts of me was like, oh, it would be so cool to have like an Airbnb, but I'm like, no, that's not really what I want. I don't want to be, because I feel also like Airbnbs are so scummy. That's not really what I want to do. I think a bed and breakfast is more like what I'm actually interested in, having something like that. I mean, if you didn't know, I went to basically like chef school when I was younger, and my specialty like was in tourism. So I have worked within tourism. I was a waitress for 10 years. I didn't really love cooking that much, so I ended up being a waitress instead of a chef. But I worked in like hospitality and in tourism because that's what I went to school for because in Sweden you kind of like choose a profession when you go to like what you would call a senior high school. And I went into chef school and tourism, and you know what? It was really fun, and I don't regret doing that at all. But I wouldn't want to work like that again, but I wouldn't mind owning something like that. So I feel like depending on where we move, if I'm able, I wouldn't mind owning something, running something like that, because that's always been like almost like a little bit of a dream for me to do something like that. And I'm like, maybe that's what I can do. So yeah, like what are my plans after the US? Honestly, the sky is the limit, and I feel very hopeful and excited that whatever I choose is going to be fun, exciting, and new. I'm not going to disappear from YouTube because, like I said, I'm not tired of making YouTube videos. I just don't think I am not exciting enough, and my ideas are not exciting enough, and the internet right now is just too harsh for my liking for me to want to do this full-time for the foreseeable future. I'll still be a full-time YouTuber probably at the end of 2025, but I wouldn't be sad if I wasn't. I love how I went into this and I was thinking I was gonna do something like easy and not too dramatic, but like we all knew that was not gonna happen. I kind of think I am gonna be working with the mints, 2 minty shades. I think that's what we're going to be doing. I also want to quickly talk a little bit about traveling as well. I will be traveling this year, but not as much as I did last year, because last year was fun but also chaotic. So I'm traveling, actually, I think I'm in Orlando with my best friend and my husband as you're seeing this, or I'm on my way there. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know when this is going up. We're only there for a couple of days, and we're having a dog cat sitter, like cat sitting our house and our pets. So she comes here and stays with them, which is amazing. She's so good with them, and our cat hates leaving the house. So I'm so excited that we have found her, because it makes me so happy to know that my cat can still be here and be comfortable in our house and not be stressed. So I'm so excited that she was available to come here and help. Like, look at how cool this is. Oh, I love it. So After that, I wanted to do that because my friend has never been to Disney, Ricardo's never been to Orlando, so I'm like, let's do this together. Let's just have a fun, relaxing time. And we are going to be meeting a couple of people that were not already booked that live in the area, so that's going to be so fun as well. And I am actually going to Italy to Cosmoprof together with Christina from Gourmande Girls. So we're going for the makeup convention. And then, of course, me and Samantha, we're doing another retreat. Basically, the retreats that we have, it's a way to group travel, but still kind of know the people you're going with. So we do group travels in the US, me and Samantha do them. We're doing one in Miami, and we actually do have a few spots left. I will leave a link to that down below in case you're interested. I don't know if it's sold out when you're seeing this, but basically what is included is the dinners, all the food is included, and the gratuity, like the tips, that's included as well. And some of the drinks are included, and the activities that we're doing. We're doing a dance class in Miami. It's gonna be I'm so excited. Basically, we're just hanging out. You're meeting new friends. It's not like a YouTuber hangout. It's more like group traveling and hanging out and exploring a new space together with people who have common values and common interests as you. And we do a couple of Zooms as well before we travel so that we get to know each other, so that when we meet for the first time, we actually like know each other. So that one in Miami, I will leave a link to it down below in case you are interested. And there you can see like what is included and what the dates are and all of that. So I'm very excited about us doing that. And we are having a Zoom as well for that one. Just as I get back from Disney, we're gonna have another Zoom call about that trip. And then of course I'm having my group travel together with Trova Trip, which is the exact same deal. That's happening in end of May, and then the first week of June we are going to Greece together. We're going to Athens and then to Santorini. I've never been to Santorini. I have been to Athens and I'm so excited to go back. And same deal, you get to do the group travel together with a group of people of like just similar interest, and we meet before as well on Zoom, talk together, and it's just like hanging out, having a good time. Some people that are coming on the trip was on the last trip in Italy last year. Some people have been to some of the retreats that we've had here in the US. Some people are new. We do have a group chat for this as well. Please let me know if you are interested, and if you're not, that's totally fine. Group travel isn't for everyone. And again, with those trips, what is included is the hotels, the activities, and some of the meals. I will put the info for that down below as well. I think I don't know how many spots, but it's almost full as well. But that one is happening end of May. And I think I'm gonna put some of the shimmer now. This one, the minty one, I'm gonna put that in between. And then Samantha has a group trip as well, that is happening August? I think August, and she has more info about that if you are interested in that. And then I am going on, I have a couple of, do you have any goals for this year? Let me know. Do you have any goals for this year? Okay, one of my goals for this year, when we moved to the US, me and Ricardo said, oh, so pretty. I'm gonna spray this because I'm just gonna put it, because I'm gonna put it on top of the mats and just to make sure that it sticks. One of the things that me and Ricardo said that we wanted to do when we moved to the US 4 years ago, remember? Pepperidge Farm members, was that we wanted to see Hawaii, because going to Hawaii from Europe is very expensive, like very expensive. So we decided that we were gonna travel to Hawaii, at least to one of the islands, before we leave the US. And we've been doing other things. Listen, times have been short. Like we've been pressed on time. And also, like for Ricardo, now that he's working in the US, he only has 2 weeks on vacation, but like when he was living in Sweden, he had 6 weeks of vacation. So like it's very different like that way as well. So it's not super easy for us to plan stuff. So I'm very excited we're able to do both Disney, and we're planning this summer if we're able to go to Hawaii, because that's one of the things that we wanted to do before we left the US. So hopefully we're able to do that. That will be really fun. And then I do have a couple of those creator and friend trips, the event company that Samantha and Simbri started. I have a couple of those happening this year as well. And those are trips that I'm like paying for myself. It's just like almost like a networking, hanging out with peers and co-workers basically on these retreats. And a lot of the people that are going on them are like friends of mine, like I talk to a lot, and especially the one that is happening in the end of April, and we're going to, I don't want to say, I don't know if it's public knowledge, but that one anyways that I'm going to. I know a lot of my friends are going, and I am so excited to be hanging out with them again. It's gonna be like so great. Isn't this like so intense and fun? I'm just gonna put a little bit more of the brown out here to just blend it into the mint. But wow, this is so cool. Isn't that so cool? So I love traveling. I love traveling with friends. I love traveling. Oh my God. I got a little bit fall. Do you see that? Oh my. No. I got a little bit of fallout, but it is fine. I love traveling with friends. I love traveling with my husband in big groups and small groups. I love so many things. And also when we are going to Miami, I have decided to fly in myself one day early. I did that when we went to Rome last year, and I just spent one day, like almost a full day in Rome by myself. And here I'm gonna spend like a full afternoon, evening, night in Miami by myself. And I'm actually I'm excited about this. Oh, I'm gonna be using this new mascara. I did talk about this, the mascara from Gourmande Girls. This is a really nice mascara. I mean, you could tell I have it in front of me. I've been using this so much. It is a plastic bristle, and it's like an indie version of that plastic bristle, grip the lashes, lengthen and curl them, that I really like. And I'm so excited that we can find this in an indie version as well. But I'm excited to have oh my God, is there a YouTuber that you look at and you're like, wow, I am so not envious, but I'm in awe? Kelly Gooch. She goes solo traveling, and I've told her this as well. I am so in awe of her just going on solo travel. And I don't know if I would want to go solo traveling, because I don't know if it's for me, but I want to be the kind of person that can at least do maybe one night by myself and just be entertained by myself, bring a book, do some sightseeing. I do love having dinner by myself. So oh my gosh, I always, when I see her stuff on Instagram, and like I said, I've told her as well, I'm like, wow, she's just so cool altogether. She's such a fun one, and I really hope she is coming to the next Creator and Friends, because I love being around her. She's so fun. I'm just gonna finish this look up, and I'm gonna see if I got any questions coming in that I want to answer at the end, because I feel like I wasn't really that good at answering your questions. I kind of just went on and on about YouTube, my life, and my plans. But yeah, I would love to hear about it. I gotta say, I feel pretty spectacular. I'm so excited that this is the look. And I created the Galactic Visitor, so clearly ooh, I knew the potential. But when I had this in mind, I'm like, oh, I want to do something yellow brown with the mint. This turned out even better than what I had in mind. I actually really, really like this. I'm so excited, and I smell good. I'm so excited. Let me see if there's any of the other, if there's any more questions that I'm like, oh, if there's anything come in that I'm like, ooh, let me answer that one. Because I feel like I've talked your ears off about, I don't know, future stuff that I genuinely know that there is no way that you really care about. But I hope that this was one of those videos that was, let me tell you and not show you. So that you can maybe just listen to someone go on and on about stuff while you're doing other things. Ooh, I have 2 questions here that are a little bit interesting. Let me actually just screen save these. Something unexpected about getting into BookTube. That is really interesting. What is that really? I feel so far, again, I'm just getting into BookTube. I put up 10 videos, if even that. Again, my second channel is linked down below. I feel like people in the BookTube community so far seem nicer about a difference in opinions, because there's definitely been books where I've been like, this book absolutely sucks, and then there's been people putting a comment down and being like, I actually love this book, it's so interesting to hear why you hate it. When if I do that with makeup, I will get a comment saying, well, you don't even know how to do makeup, you're clearly just lying. So I feel like people are a little bit more open, at least from what I've seen so far, towards a difference in preferences and opinions, which is refreshing. because like I said, it's been a little bit harsh in the makeup community as of late. So that's been really nice. But I feel overall, it's just been really nice to do videos just willy-nilly about whatever I want to. I don't care about the lighting or the equipment or if people can see, because when I do makeup videos, I'm like, people need to be able to see things. Like, no weird shadows, the colors need to be correct. I need to be like, what you're seeing should be what I'm seeing. And with BookTube, like, I don't care. If I'm out of focus, if I'm pink, if I'm dark, if it's blurry, I don't really care. I'm just sitting literally on the floor or in front of my bookshelf or in my reading chair, and I'm just chatting away. So that's been nice. But yeah, I feel like I haven't made any friends in the book community yet. So I think I will have more opinions about this the further along on my journey I am, I would say. And I also feel like what's been your go-to for distressing and staying positive amidst gesturing around. I love that. That's a quote that Amanda, Makeup Just for Fun, uses as well. And I've been copying it because I love her and she is so witty and fun and smart. And I miss you, Amanda. Reading has been really lovely. Honestly, talking about it with people that understand you, respect you, and won't put you down, like my friends, has been really helpful as well. I've been on Marco Polo literally, crying about the state of the world with my friends, and they're not telling me I'm stupid or silly, and I'm not telling them that they're stupid or silly when they're crying about it. Just having people around me that's actually like supportive and that like genuinely like me it's really refreshing. Other than that, I do feel like reading has been helping a lot. I have been doing a lot of window shopping, not like actually buying it, but window shopping and then saving. I feel like window shopping on Pinterest, window shopping for like stuff I would like to have in a future home, stuff I would like to have in a future wardrobe. I'm not buying it, I'm just window shopping for it, and that's been really fun. That's been actually really fun. But I think that was everything for this video. Thank you for letting me just yap on and on and on about different things. If you are interested in any of the things that I used, or if you're interested in any of the things that I mentioned, I will put it all in the description box. And yeah, let's see if this Shop My Stash for not brand new makeup is breaking the 10K views or not. My guess is gonna be not, but I hope you are having a great day and I'll see you really soon in a new video. I actually do have a couple of really fun videos planned.